Welcome to Global Business. I am Imewere Ohiomokai. Today is our 28th season, first episode of the program in these 10 years of doing global business on Nigerian television. I want to say again, thank you for staying with us and staying for us. Today on the program, we'll be looking at poverty. What does poverty mean to you? I am in Abuja. This is the suburb of Abuja. You can see it's ever busy. But is poverty written on the faces of these people? Do you see poverty, or when you see poverty, do you recognize poverty? Poverty is not someone dressed as posh as I am. Poverty is not somebody looking as good and handsome as I am. Poverty, when you see it, you know it. And we'll be going to one of the villages in Abuja, right here, one of the most expensive cities in Nigeria, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. Yet, poverty still rears its ugly head in this town. And we'll be looking at some of those communities in Abuja. We're going to Durunmi, but there are other places that have poverty. There's Poi, there's Masaka. There are other communities all around Abuja with poverty rearing their ugly heads. How do people who are living in the posh areas, how do they cope knowing that such people, like the ones who will show you today on the program, how do they cope knowing that such people live in the same town with them? We'll be looking at that on today's program. Our correspondent, Senami, went to Durunmi, and this is what she has. Enjoy the show, looking at inequality in Nigeria, poverty as a focus.
The look of poverty isn't pretty. The feel of poverty is horrible. The smell and stench that comes out of a place where people are suffering is nothing to write home about. How do people live in poverty, their daily lives? How is their living standard like? Many have a lot to say. But can they come out of poverty? This is the one thing that they believe they may not be able to. However, they hope and trust that if government will only act with sincerity of purpose, then most, if not all, of their problems will be solved. I'm Senami Ohiomokai. Life living in poverty?
Number one, life immediately with poverty here. No money. No money, hardship. No money, no money. We are suffering here. We are suffering here. You are not my shoe. You are not my shoe, no wait, I'm telling. No money, business no they move.
There are some basic amenities that places in Abuja has: water, light, clean environment. What is it like here? Like toilets, all those kind of things. Is it functioning here?
Yeah, toilet is functional. Like some people big house, they have toilet. But the problem here we have here no road. Number one, no light. Almost 2 months or a month and we don't get light. And they give us. Okay, now the light of here is almost in a month, 15 in a month is 13 days we'll have light. But they give us bill for 1 month. They give us light for 1 month. They give us light for 1 month. We'll pay. Kuma light no dey dey. We have problem issue of light here. No be small something.
You as a person, how does it affect you?
In fact, about my business. Light is you see light. Light is if anybody see light, you know say that place is developing. Without light and water, no develop for the place.
What do you think can make you come out of poverty?
So if the government help us, we pay the revenue, 5,000 naira every year. See how the road there. We pay revenue every year, 5,000 naira. Or see the road, see gutter.
I don't like this place because of its smelling. I want let me stay in another place where it's good, it's not smelling.
What do you think can your parents can do or government can do that will make you live in a good place, clean place?
Because of they don't have money. If they have money, they can carry me to go to another place. To make this place gutter, to cover this gutter, to make a road here, a good road.
No, life in poverty let me say that poverty is a disease. Especially we're in Nigeria here, our life is just upside down. This is not working well. So we are passing through hell. Especially men are hustling from day to day, end of the year, we are end of achieving nothing. So I believe that our government does not help us at all. So we need help. We need government to do what's supposed to do so that we belong to this. We have the sense of belonging to the citizen of this country.
Okay, so what is the living standard like on a daily basis? Water, sanitation.
My sister, not zero, nothing here. We're just living like say we're living in ghetto. Just look at a typical example. No, nothing, no facilities, no cost. It's zero life. I'm telling you, zero.
So if you were asked, what do you think can make you come out of poverty? What do you think can take you out of all of this?
The only thing that I can say that people who need to just hustle to survive. You know, let me just say hustle, because things is not working well. You need to hustle to survive. Don't look to the government. Just try to create to be a master of your own.
But you say you have been hustling year after year, yet you will not see anything.
No, we can't lose hope. We just believe in God. We can't lose hope. This is not working. We need to hold. Just believe God. I believe that it's only God can save us from this critical situation right now in the country.
Mohammed, is this how you people live every day? How long have you been living like this?
Almost 10 years now. 10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
Look at this whole environment. Does government clean this place for you, or do you people clean this place by yourself? What are the things? What is the reason why you have this much debt?
Because government received to do something about it. Because we need help to government to come check how this place be. So we need something like the government should help us and clean this place, to come and check about this place, because this place is so very dirty.
How does it affect you? Now, you live here every day. You've been living here for almost 10 years. What is the way of life? I mean, how does poverty affect you on a daily basis?
Because this is my shop. This is where I'm working. So, and this dirty, so something sickness, so smell. And this smell is so very dangerous for human being body. So I need to government to come help us and check this place, how this place be, to clean all this place, because our environment is so very dirty.
So if you have a choice now, they ask you to stay in Durunmi inside this dirty or to stay in a better place, what will you?
Hi, but I can't stay here, seriously, because this place is so very dirty.
Okay, so what do you think can make you come out of poverty that you won't be living in such a place?
To me, to hustle, to myself, to make it, and work with my power.
You have been hustling
Yeah,
for 10 years.
yeah.
What difference has it made?
I go school,
Okay.
and I make it, and I thank God as I go school. Yes, I make what I want. This is my show where I'm working.
Okay.
So
But you want better.
I want better, yeah.
Okay. How will you achieve that better?
It's from God.
Alright.
It's from God, not from human being. It's from God, and I want you to achieve about it.
If you take a look around, I and Mrs. Alison Chizoba, I'm sure you won't believe that we are in Abuja, but trust me, we are in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. We are in Durunmi, to be precise, a suburb in the Federal Capital Territory. Like where we are right now, in the midst of the city, in the city are so many slums. Durunmi happens to be one of them. Mrs. Chizoba lives and does her business here in Durunmi. We want to ask her, what is life like living in Durunmi? Mrs. Chizoba, so tell us, what has been your life living in this area?
My life living in this area, one, I'm selling. Two, this our area being Durunmi. Let me just say that it's rough. Durunmi is rough. It's dirty. And if we look our road, motor parks go slow 24 hours. You understand? Go slow 24 hours. And come to water. We are buying 2 rubber 50 naira. And it's not what's supposed as a federal capital. And come to light, is when they want to bring bill before they will bring light to us. Because after they collect this thing, there will be no light again for a week to 2 weeks. You understand me? So we want our federal capital, our government, to help us and to take care of, especially this our Durunmi. It's too rough. If you look around, see some houses, so many of them is bacha. If you look around, you will see it. So many of them is bacha. And if you look, you can't believe that it's a human being that is living inside. You understand? So we want government to come into this Durunmi and know what they will do. Know how to take care of this the area to make it to be neat. You understand? To make it to be neat, so that the people that will live in it will live very fine. We live very neat. Because if the environment is neat, the people that is inside, they will also be neat. You understand? So we want our government to come and take care of this our area, to look into it and know what they are going to do, and to help us, we poor people.
they help us. From now till August, let them look after Durunmi. I beg. Look, a family man with 6 children. Look the type of house when we are living. Just imagine. If you put agric here, if you have 4 days, all go die. Let government enter Durunmi, come help us. At least watering and the good. It's okay for us.
I'm currently with Pastor Celestine. Pastor Celestine tells me that he's lived in this area for more than 30 years. And in all this time, he's never witnessed any kind of development whatsoever. A look at Pastor Celestine will tell you, or at least show you, the hard life that he has had to live. Pastor Celestine, tell us, what has life been in all these 30 years?
Yes, I'm begging government to enter Durunmi and supervise and know our need, because sufferness is too much for us here. There's no road, no water. Coming to that, NEPA bill passed house rentage. The bill when they give 10 rooms is the bill when they are giving 3 rooms. So we can't endure it. The thing is too much. If they say the government won't supply, give fertilizer, all these senators then go share it. You know, go reach us hand. No, only this thing. During election time, all the senators they go coming here around 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock. But when once they enter seat, then go forget us. So we are drinking, we know none of them when they enter inside Durunmi and look our need. The suffering is too much. If government, we are saying that we are one Nigeria. We are not one Nigeria. To me, Mr. Celestine, I'm saying that Nigeria is 36 Nigeria. It's not one. Because it's one, the tribalism is too much. Some are chopping, some are not chopping.
Pastor Celestine, now, if you have a choice, how do you think you can come out of this kind of suffering and poverty that you have faced all these years?
You know, without the help of somebody can't stand, because our government not the help poor.
So you believe with government help?
Yes, because I'm trying. I'm a farmer.
Okay.
I'm a farmer. I didn't get. If they say make I write agric loan, when I write agric loan, directors when their office then go take our name, write their own name, share it to their wife and their children. You know they reach us. Without the help of somebody can't stand.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We thank Pastor Celestine for his time. Obviously, there's so much to be done for people living in poverty. And while some are unsure what they want, others are very, very clear as to what can be done for them to get them out of poverty.
One may ask, what's the correlation between the Nigerian Living Standard Survey and the Sustainable Development Goals? Is this going to help us measure our poverty index, especially as we try to attain the SDG?
The Living Standard Survey, like I said, it's used to gather information on poverty, on inequality, several other uses, like I said, even the consumption expenditure indicators you're going to get. It will help to know what people are buying, what they are spending their money on, whether they're having more money to spend, and so on, and general living standards. So the objective of data, which is to give policymakers the facts of what is going on, is exactly what the use is. When you have accurate data on where the poor. You don't solve poverty without knowing how many people are poor, what their living standards and conditions are. You need to know where the majority of people are poor. So by the time you are done with the poverty survey, you have a very detailed in the data on where the poor are scattered across the country. And it's after you have that data that you can now say, in this particular local government, there's a concentration of people that are poorer in this place than somewhere else. So you can decide where to intervene in first or last. I'll give an example about how important this is. After the last poverty study showed that one of the states, I don't want to mention which one now, was worsened. And the particular chief executive of that state that felt he was doing very well, and he was one of the higher regarded governors, he was surprised that with all the work he was doing, we can come and publish data on poverty that said poverty was worsening in his state. So he was upset. So he invites me over to the state and shows me the roads he has built to open up markets from the rural areas and so on. We understand the theory, open up markets. So we put the poverty map of his state against those projects, and we saw that he had been opening up the roads in the wrong place, not where the poor were. So I said, you can see, Your Excellency, the reason why your poverty did not improve was because you had 11% of your poor in one area, 90%, 80% somewhere else, but you opened up roads where 11% was. So it didn't have a huge impact on poverty. When you have this kind of data, state governments, federal governments can see exactly where the poor are. When you are the social safety net, they want to give the poorest people 5,000 naira or some benefit. Until you know the regions, the areas where the poor are, you are doing a guess game, and the money will not have its impact. By the time this work is done, the social safety net office will know exactly where the poorest and vulnerable are, and they will know where to devote those resources, so it has a maximum impact. That's the benefit of this kind of project. And once it works and aids policy, then you see that the sustainable development goals will get better in attaining.
In fact, you have led me to my next question. What you have said, is it not insinuating that governments between 2009 to 2018, which is about 9 years, have been leading blindly, probably in economic leadership, when they don't have the statistics, they don't have the data to know what to do, and then they just go about development blindly?
I think that there's been an increase in the improvement in the use of statistics to take decisions in Nigeria. If you look at the Economic Growth and Recovery Plan of government, virtually almost every page you see MBS. That was never the case in historical. Go and check the previous, many of the previous developmental projects. You don't really find homegrown statistics. You might have some research done by someone we don't know, or some development agency in their estimates and so on. So there has been an increase in the use of data for planning. That being said, the volume of data in Nigeria is not exactly where it is meant to be. We admit that, and that's because the Statistics Office is not particularly funded. But I think, yes, in certain areas we have been taking decisions blindly because we are taking those decisions without enough data, or if the data is even there, certain policymakers have chosen to ignore it. In the past, what you get is, and to an extent currently, is where policymakers or certain people have an idea what they want to do, and once they decide, they now go and make up the data to back what they've already decided to do, as opposed to the other way around, which is that the data is supposed to tell you what to do, but you have instances, a lot of instances where people who do what they want to do and then look for data to back it. And if there's no data, if the data that exists does not back what they want to do, they will say the data is not correct. That's what we have had as a country, and that is a reason why a lot of the policies, programs, projects that we have done over the years have not hit their maximum potential, because we are doing it blindly. It was not informed by evidence, it wasn't informed by facts, and because of that, once you do things like that, then I've used this example many times when I had a word with a couple of governors that said they want to create 100,000 jobs, and I said, Your Excellency, you cannot create 100,000 jobs from thin air. You have to know the circumstance in your state. How do you know that it's 100,000 jobs required? How do you know it's not 50? How do you know it's not 200? In what jobs? You have to know there are 150,000 unemployed doctors, 20,000 teachers, 11,000 engineers. That's when you know exactly the kinds of jobs you need to create to fix the problem. You don't just call out figures, 100,000, 200,000. That does not solve the problem. You might create 100,000 jobs for people with skills as doctors, and then find that you only have 3,000 people unemployed that can take up those vacancies. You have not solved the problem. So the data first, and then the policy and decisions after.
Today's program has looked at poverty, and I'm sure you may have been shocked if you haven't tasted or haven't seen what poverty looks like. You may have seen what it looks like with today's program. It's not a joking matter. It's not something to laugh about. Statistics by the African Development Bank says there are over 80 million poor people in Nigeria. But the National Bureau of Statistics is currently doing a poverty survey. So hopefully by April 2019, we should know the number of people who are actually poor in Nigeria. But those people you have seen, will they wait for another 1 year before they can feel that they can get out of poverty? The United Nations has put 2030 as the date to eradicate poverty across the world. 2030 is just about 12 years away. How near or how far is Nigeria from this goal? These are the issues government and government officials need to look at. The people you saw today are the real Nigerians. They are the ones who your policies as Nigerian government officials affect, whether you like it or not. That's Global Business Today. I'm Imewari Uyomokai. It's always nice doing business with you, whether in rich or poor climes. Have a great day.